Revolutionary greetings, comrades. On the 27th of October 2022, as the leadership of the African Diaspora Forum, we responded to an invitation by the community leadership in Diepsloot to discuss the issues of crime. We know that we've had problems in Diepsloot. Crime has been taking place in that community. People have lost their lives. We saw even in the last few days the community burning tires as part of the campaign against the crime. So when the leadership in the community invited us, yes, of course, initially we were a bit scared to attend the meeting, but were to. So we went there in my capacity as the executive director of the African Diaspora Forum. Comrade Keith Botts, who's a South African, who heads our anti-crime commission, because the African Diaspora Forum does not only represent the interest of migrant communities. We work with the progressive South Africans, like Comrade Botts that we went with, and of course Comrade Sergio Luamba from the Democratic Republic of Congo. In the meeting, in the community meeting, there were of course comrades from Nigeria who are resident in Diepsloot, comrades from Zimbabwe who are also resident in Diepsloot, but the majority were South African comrades. So we went there to listen and also to raise our own views with respect to the issues, not only in Diepsloot, but in our communities. What was noted in the meeting, which of course later on we will interview on this platform, YouTube platform, the chairperson of the community, because some of the issues needs to be raised by her, so that we have a clear understanding in terms of the campaign that we want to roll out as part of isolating criminal elements in Diepsloot, which of course this should play itself out in other communities. If you have already visited this YouTube channel, you might have seen a video less than 2 minutes where I was captured giving an address addressing the leadership in the meeting in Diepsloot. The issue at the center is about crime, challenges of crime. So everyone in the meeting spoke about challenges of crime, that everyone is a victim of criminality, but of great concern, which we want to appeal to everyone, is non-participation of migrants in the fight against the crime. There is a feeling that when meetings are convened, public meetings, when there are demonstrations against the crime, migrants stay away from these campaigns. This was raised as a big issue of concern that needs to be addressed, because the community leaders were very clear that it is not about xenophobia. It is about fighting crime, because people live together in Diepsloot, irrespective of your nationality, whether you are Mozambican, you are Zimbabwean, you are Nigerian. If you live in Diepsloot, you must participate in all community activities. This was an issue which was, of course, of great concern. But there was also a clear, which was raised in the community, that while crime is committed by all nationalities, but Zimbabwean young people seem, according to the reports in the meeting, are the ones who are taking the lead in criminal activities, which of course this is a great concern. And it was specifically said that mostly they are from Cholocho, because the residents say at times they carry out visits to people's residence, and they've caught others, and they will have Zimbabwean IDs which clearly state that they are from Cholocho. This was raised as a great concern. And what was then raised was that when Diepsloot, as a suburb, started some way back in 1995, is that Zimbabweans were part of the pioneers that set up Diepsloot. And they were saying in the meeting that those Zimbabweans were progressive, they were not involved in criminal activities. Most of them, they were working as domestic workers. But they seem not to understand why, of a sudden, you then have young people from Zimbabwe that commit crime. Of course, they are saying those from Malawi, migrants from Malawi, are not, most of them are not involved in criminal activity. They are saying, described them as very polite, not involved in all these criminal activities. Of course, they said there might be some, but in the main, those from Malawi are not really involved in criminal elements. They said it is the local South Africans and the Zimbabweans in the main that are involved in criminal activities. And of course, the issue of the African Diaspora Forum was raised in that we are not rooted in communities. We are only seen on national television when there's an attack, where we run to studios, give our views without getting into communities. So we agreed that we need to work together in communities so that we are not only seen through the press, but we are seen on the ground. It was emphasized in the meeting that the strike that was there last week, it was not about xenophobia. It was about crime. And they are saying there are going to be many campaigns that will be taking place. They are saying it is not about xenophobia. It is about fighting crime. This is why they are disappointed that migrants isolate themselves, do not attend to meetings. And of course, there was an issue raised that in a number of times when residents go to the police station as part of wanting the police to arrest the criminals, the response by the police is then to set up roadblocks and begin to check people's documents, whether they are in the country legally or not, which the men of them were saying it is just but a money-making scheme. They are saying this is maybe part of the reason why migrants do not want to participate. But the message was very clear that every person must participate. And we were told about the Church Leaders Forum, which had meetings. You remember that one pastor was murdered in the church when the criminals invaded the church and they started firing inside the church, and unfortunately a pastor died. They recognize as migrants, as the community, that you have religious leaders that have contributed in Diepsloot, in building churches, and they appreciate and they want to work with even migrant church leaders. So if you're a church leader in Diepsloot, you need to join what is called the Diepsloot Church Forum, Diepsloot Community Church Forum, also as part of fighting crime. And also the business community must play a critical role in the fight against the crime. Of course, they raised the issue of tribalism. You remember when people were then asked on national TV what this is in isiZulu, which they condemned, that it is not what they want to see in Diepsloot. What they want is to live in a safe community. And of course, the issue of overcrowding was raised in a meeting, that one of the challenges is that Diepsloot is overcrowded, and this is something that must be attended to. A number of taverns which close very late every street corner. They were saying in their taverns, and when they close late in the middle of the night, those coming out from those taverns then create a problem. So it's something that ought to be attended to. So in brief, there is a commitment by the community in Diepsloot to fight crime. There is a commitment to separate issues of xenophobia and the issues of criminality. So the fight against the crime is not a fight targeting migrants. It is a genuine fight against the criminality. And as the leadership of the African Diaspora Forum and as the leadership of the Zimbabwe community in South Africa, we call on everyone in Diepsloot, irrespective of nationality, to be part of these campaigns to isolate criminal gangs, to fight crime in Diepsloot. We are all victims of criminality. And we want the police to arrest every criminal. This is not about xenophobia. It is about fighting crime. So if you are in Diepsloot, please share with us your views. As I said, we will later on interview the chairperson of the Diepsloot Community Forum or Diepsloot Community Association, so that we get a perspective from her on the issues that are happening in Diepsloot, the issues that were raised. She will expand on why they do not want political parties to take the lead. She's going to explain that. When I was arriving in the meeting, they were saying, no, we don't want political parties, but she will expand on that. Please share your views if you're in Diepsloot and if you are in any other community that is having these challenges, issues around crime. How do we address issues of criminality? And we have said that as migrants, we must be part of the community that we live in. We must belong to local churches. We must drink together. That is if you drink alcohol. And we must be together in burial societies. When there are funerals, we must be together. We support local teams together. So we must live together as communities. There should not be them and us in a community. But when we do not participate and want to create our own, isolate ourselves and want to live in a corner, will be targeted. But we must, all of us, be part of the community, be part of all the campaigns in communities, whether it's cleaning campaigns, whether it's a campaign against the crime, or any initiative in the community. We must participate. Please circulate this video and please do subscribe to this YouTube channel. Otherwise, we'll talk later. Goodbye.